This is News 6 Tonight.
Happy Monday evening, everyone. We made it. We got through the weekend, which
Yes.
most people don't say that. They go, we got through the week. Welcome to News
Most
6
normal
Tonight.
people.
Welcome to
We don't
News
have
6
those
Tonight.
here on this
I hope
show.
everyone had a delightful weekend, but it says a lot about you that you made time for us tonight here on News 6 Tonight, and we appreciate that. Your time is valuable, so that's why we try to give you the headlines of the stories that we think are pretty important to you. I'm Ginger Gadsden.
Yeah, good to have you with us. I'm Matt Austin. Our headlines are going to show up any second. I know it along the side. I believe in James. Look at that, right on cue.
Just as if you pointed something and
What
wow.
what a Monday it was. I don't know if your internets are working. I hope they are, but my kids, my wife, everybody was
Yeah.
using today. Apparently Amazon's AWS went under
Yeah.
today.
And
For a
it was a
while.
big deal. And
It
people,
impacted everything.
even like in here, we do something called, you transcribe interviews. It's called
Trint.
Trint.
Yeah.
Yes. You couldn't even do that. It was crazy. And then you realize how much you rely on technology to do your job. And then
Yes.
you're like, what are we doing?
Everything, it can all just
What are we
can
doing?
all just go away. My kids all use Canvas for school, and it
Yeah.
wasn't working today.
We're going to be
So they were like,
helpless if
"Guess we
there's a
can't do
blackout.
school today."
Yeah. No,
Not
you're
gonna
going
happen.
you're going to do school.
All right. Well,
The old-fashioned way.
Speaking of technology, raise your
Yeah.
hand if you love red light cameras. 'Cause
Raise your
all
hand
the
if you've
hands are
gotten a
going up.
red light camera ticket.
So Orlando is heavily boosting its
Yeah.
red light camera presence. Currently, it has 35, Ginger.
Oof.
They're going up to 80. They're going to almost triple this thing. But all the demand, the
What
people
happened to
want it.
doubling
The
something?
people are begging. Give us more red light cameras. Many
no
are going
one's
to be
begging.
placed on one of the worst roads in the world. It's called Colonial Drive.
Oh, I know it all too well.
Community correspondent Mike Valenti takes a look.
Orange Avenue and South Street, which happens to be right outside Orlando City Hall, is one of 55 intersections that will be getting a new red light traffic camera, most likely to be accompanied by a sign that reads "Photo Enforced." I'm News 6's Mike Valenti, your Orlando community correspondent, and in a unanimous vote Monday, Orlando City Commissioners approved an expansion of the red light traffic cameras from 25 to 80.
There are already 25 of these red light traffic cameras in the city, and sometime next year, that number will shoot up to 80.
Well, I just want to say I'm 1,000% behind this. I think it's really helped with crashes. When people get a red light, run a ticket, they're not happy, but they did something wrong and they need to pay for it.
Paying for it in the amount of $158 per penalty.
It might be money-making for the city, but it's true that city has to make money somehow, so that's how they do it.
The expansion of the traffic infraction detectors was prompted by a study which looked at more than 2,000 crashes attributed to red light running over the past 5 years. The ordinance states the 55 new intersections constituted a, quote, heightened safety risk that threatens the health, safety, and welfare of pedestrians and drivers in the city. According to a fiscal impact statement reviewed by News 6, city officials expect to take in $71,000 per location. That's close to $4 million in estimated revenue per year.
My goodness.
So
Wow.
$4 million, the Doge cuts are kind of happening and being looked into at least.
Yeah.
So maybe these cities and counties and other municipalities are going to start looking for ways to try to squeeze it out of you another way.
One way or another, but the fact that you don't even double it, you triple it. Usually you just go one step at a time. It just went right over doubling
And
it
a
to
problem
nearly tripling
intersection
it.
here or there, but no, that's weird that they would add 55.
Yeah.
Just like
And
that.
on Colonial, I honestly based where I live right now when I first moved here on the fact that I did not have to get on Colonial.
Yes.
And you shouldn't, because it is just a nightmare to drive. But one of the things about red light cameras, people were saying, oh, it creates more collisions. And NHTSA, the National Institute of Highway Safety, they performed a study, and it involved Orlando and Tampa. There are more rear end collisions, but there are fewer fatal crashes because of red light
Fewer
cameras.
T-bones.
Yes.
More bumper to bumper. That makes
Exactly.
sense.
It does. But people are like, because you see a yellow light, you're not going to run it. You're going to slam on your brakes. So the person behind you, if they're not paying attention, and distracted driving is a big issue here in the state. So
50,000
yeah, just
crashes a
be
year.
careful out there because it's going to cost you some money.
So how do you feel? I'm curious as to what you think about this. Maybe I have my tinfoil hat on, but I don't like having cameras everywhere all over the place. I feel like, what do you think? Am I crazy? Because it
Yeah,
feels
it's not that you're crazy, but
one step away from a police state when cameras are
the
everywhere.
toothpaste is out of the tube. It's not going back in. I just assume that everywhere I go, I'm on camera. That's just when I got my ticket in the mail, it was literally, I could see, I'm like, oh, I remember that day. You know, you
You could
see
see the
yourself.
shade of makeup you wore that day.
Everything. And sometimes it's great because if something bad happens or if you need to find someone or if someone gets lost, just search the cameras, you'll find them. It's one of those things. If you have a phone in your pocket, just know you're being tracked.
We're
You have no
tracked,
privacy
we're
anymore.
watched
It's
every step.
and
of the way.
I've just accepted it. At first you
I
didn't
don't
want
think
to.
That's good. Why should we accept that? We're the people. We could vote, do away with it.
Okay, good luck with that. I want to say,
I
let me
don't know who voted for 55 new red light cameras. Put that on the ballot and see what happens.
Not a whole
Obviously,
lot.
not everything we want is coming to fruition.
Okay. So switching gears, we're going to talk about another story that is really where if your child plays Roblox, and it's very popular because 380 million people worldwide are on this thing, and our
Our
law
380 million?
380, that's the number. Yeah,
That is more
380
than
million.
the United States of America plays this game.
And and that's why it's a problem. The state attorney general announced today that he's launching a criminal investigation into the gaming platform, and they're calling it like it's a breeding ground for predators. And the number should tell you something about 380 million. Everyone's not going to be a law-abiding citizen. And when you're talking about kids on something like that,
Big chunk of
they're
that
the
number's
most
kids, most of
vulnerable of the population. Our News 6 correspondent Stephanie Rodriguez has more on that story.
I'm Stephanie Rodriguez reporting from News 6. On Monday, the state's attorney general announced that there will be a criminal investigation into Roblox. Now, it is a gaming platform with 380 million monthly users worldwide. The AG says that it's a breeding ground for child predators. In April, the state issued a civil subpoena against Roblox. This, the AG said, uncovered proof that these predators solicit information and locations from children in an effort to abuse them. The state claims Roblox is aware of this and allows the game to be used this way. The criminal subpoena is focusing on grooming, inadequate age verification, failure to warn or protect children, failure to report incidents, and insufficient content moderation. Over 30 families in 2 states are suing the company. CBS News spoke with a father who was part of a lawsuit against Roblox, who says a predator posing as a 16-year-old offered his son Roblox gift cards in exchange for sexually explicit photos, which the son sent via Discord, a different gaming and chat platform.
At a certain point, it was, tell me what your address is. And when he said no, he's like, well, I have these photos of you, I'll tell your parents.
Roblox's chief safety officer told CBS News that the company does not allow image sharing and filtered chats and has rolled out over 100 safety features this year, including age estimation and increased chat monitoring to protect all users.
And, you know, you can't monitor your kids 24/7. You should, but how is that even possible? How is it possible? They're online all the time. And that, coincidentally, that's where the predators are
It is
also
a
because they,
social game,
yeah.
and they're roaming around this big world with a ton of other people in this world, and it is definitely bad recipe if you have a little kid and there are
Yeah.
predators around. You wouldn't let them loose with randoms,
No,
you know,
no.
in person.
And even if you don't allow that in your home, if your kid's at someone else's home and they allow it, you know,
Yeah.
it's hard to.
You know, the thing that stinks as a parent, if you want to say, okay, I'm going to keep my kids off Roblox or
Yeah.
off social media,
Then they go to a friend's.
everybody else's kid has it, and
It's like the cell
and your
phone
kid's
issue.
like, oh, great, I'm the one left out. And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't
yeah.
socialize with my friends because so
It's
you
like
get
the only kid without a cell phone.
guilted in. Yes,
like
it's exactly like the
Everyone
only
has a
kid
cell phone
without a cell
except
phone.
me.
Sorry, kids in the
For your own
Austin house.
safety.
Yeah. Well, just last week I brought you the story of I dubbed it the Narcoossee Nightmare. There is this road out. It's southern Orange County, northern Osceola, in the Lake Nona area.
Yep.
And it is the one artery that everybody can use, and they all just clog this thing up every day. I have done few stories in which people have been more seething with rage.
Oh, I saw some of your
They-
people.
you saw them in person. I just randomly came across people. Hey, what do you think about this road? It's awful. I hate it. And then more people emailed me after seeing the story.
Yeah.
And it was very interesting. Well, after that story aired on Friday, new announcement comes on Monday. Guess what we're doing? We're adding another 300 home neighborhood right along Narcoossee Road in
I'm sure they'll
Osceola
put the
County.
infrastructure in there to handle it.
Right. They're going to add more roads, maybe?
Wow, 300 homes. That's a
So,
lot.
yeah, it is a real problem. People are very upset about this. And it's another thing you might wonder. Well, we'll talk about why this could be happening in just a bit. But I want to get you caught up with our community correspondent, Mark Lehman, who heads out to that area.
One of the fastest growing areas in North Osceola County is set to become even larger. In recent years, thousands of homes have sprouted up along Surrills Drive. Now commissioners are voting on a proposal to build a 289-home subdivision off Crosswater Boulevard.
How's it been living in this area?
The traffic is very horrible because they keep building houses around.
Alejandro Marin has lived in the neighborhood next door for 3 months, and during that time, he's seen how difficult it can be driving into nearby Orange County and Orlando.
Now here along Surrills Drive is the main drag that feeds to all of these homes, and you can see there's a road widening project happening right now. That should improve the situation, but the road ends right over here at Narcoossee Road, which has been a problem for years, and the situation is only getting worse.
We told you last week about how traffic on Narcoossee Road has surged to more than 58,000 vehicles per day, which exceeds the road's intended capacity of 55,000.
I don't think it's enough for the amount of people that are, coming here to live.
A relief toll road project is in the works, but still several years from completion, meaning if the new subdivision is approved, those drivers will be adding to the gridlock. Commissioners will be voting on the proposal during their meeting tonight.
So we've done so many of these growth stories, and every time you or I will go to some local leader and we'll say, why are you approving this housing development? And what they say to me every time is, this was marked for that sometimes
before.
decades ago.
Yeah.
So you can't go and change it. If somebody buys this land and it's going to be a development or it's going to be commercial, they have the right, because they can't buy it and then you change it out from under
Again,
them.
the toothpaste is out of the tube, to use that analogy again. It's too late. It's not like it just happened overnight. That's been decades in the making. But you move to an area. That's why it's important to do your homework before you move to an area and figure out, like, okay, wow, there's a lot of room out here. But will it always be that way?
But
You
it can be
drive-
so hard to go. I mean, a place you move in 1993 is going to look so much different in 2013.
Of
you know?
course, of
it's
course.
crazy the amount
Yeah.
of growth that can happen.
Yeah,
But, definitely
but
something
you
to
know,
keep an eye on.
growth is good for some communities, not always. Not when it's happening to you and it's happening so quickly. And Florida is, I don't know if you know this, super popular.
We are like,
Very popular. We're the cool
totally-
kids.
We are the it
We are the
for sure.
All right. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we are 20 days into the federal government being shut down, if you can believe that. And some of the folks who are still showing up to work, not calling out sick, which we appreciate, are pretty essential workers. And now it's our time to step up and help them. We're going to tell you about a food drive happening at the airport for some TSA workers there when we come back. Yeah, and we got the latest from the sheriff just a little while ago, I think. So we'll make sure we have that for News 6 tonight. Hey, thanks for stopping by. We know you're busy, but news doesn't stop, and neither do we.
That's right. And this is News 6 Tonight, where we leverage this entire busy newsroom with our community correspondents, our producers, our content desk, and then we filter through that. We have a casual conversation about the news that impacts Central Florida.
Yeah, we live here in the community, and we rely on you for our neighborhood network, because you're our eyes and ears as well, and we can't do it without you.
So you can watch us all over the place, YouTube, News 6 Plus app, and clickorlando.com. While you're here, feel free to engage. Let us know who you are and where you're from.
Welcome back to News 6 Tonight, everyone. On a Monday night, hopefully you're having a pleasant evening and enjoying the stories that we're bringing to you. Chime in if you have an opinion about any of the stories that we're bringing to you, because we love to hear what you think about it. We just had somebody in the newsroom talk about the red light cameras, because that has been a big topic of discussion in our newsroom today, especially when you talk about the number. But something else we want to talk about is the federal shutdown and how people are really hurting. There are people who are essential workers who have to show up and do their job without pay. Hopefully they'll get paid later on when the government reopens, but we don't know when that's going to happen, right? TSA workers, they already have a tough job because they have to deal with the public. And when people are flying, they're not
people like you.
they're not really pleasant all the time. So what a lot of folks are doing, getting together and having food drives for the TSA workers, the ones at Orlando International Airport, especially because we are known to be one of the best airports. Our workers are not calling in sick, which is what happens at other airports. And you can't fly, your flights are delayed. Our community correspondent, Alex Cook, has what folks are doing in the community.
I'm just outside the departures section of Terminal C at Orlando International Airport, where airport employees are taking donations for federal workers like TSA agents who aren't being paid during the federal government shutdown. All day, people have been pulling up, offering groceries and gift cards, and they will be out here through Friday accepting those donations.
I have nothing but respect for them working and showing up each day to keep us all safe.
Cheryl worked at an airport during previous government shutdowns and knows how hard it can be on the federal workers like TSA agents, air traffic controllers, and customs agents who still have to work despite not getting paid. Orlando International Airport sent out this list of donation suggestions, which they note must be non-perishable, unopened original packaging, and not expired. They're also emphasizing that you can donate gift cards to grocery stores like Target and Publix to help with their grocery bills.
I raided the pantry at home, my hurricane supplies.
My husband and I brought food for the workers here that, you've been talking about on Channel 6. And so we went through our pantry last night and we came up with 4 boxes of canned goods and different things that we wanted to bring in.
Lance Little, CEO of the Greater Orlando Aviation Authority, wanted to thank the federal workers for keeping travelers safe even through this difficult time.
They've just been doing a tremendous job under the circumstances to keep our airport open.
And kudos to them. And I love Miss Marty, who went through her pantry and got 4 boxes of things. I love her. She watches News 6.
Good News 6 viewer right there.
Really is. And I think if everybody just kind of reached into their own little package of goodies and whatever you can, live without, and donate it to the folks who are really doing a great job of keeping us safe and keeping us in the air and not seeing what we saw, what we've seen at other airports, because they're like, forget it. If I'm not getting paid, I'm sick. And they're going to other jobs.
Right. Who would work without getting their pay? I mean, now they're going to get their paycheck eventually, but the longer this keeps going.
Promises don't pay the bills is what we always like to say. That's a big issue. So
tell you something. If you're driving to the airport to help another person, just out of the goodness of your heart.
To the airport.
It is a terrible place to drive. Half the time you can't even get to the terminal.
Everyone's distracted.
They're cutting all over the place.
Oh my gosh.
Bless those people.
Yeah. They're doing the Lord's work for sure.
Out of their day to go and
we
donate.
love that.
I love it.
I love that the people here are that kind.
Me too. Does not surprise me. We hear a lot about scams around here. We report on them pretty much every day. And in most cases, recently, the crooks have been asking people, this is a scam. If someone asks you to go get me some cryptocurrency or a fistful of gift cards and you pay me that way. Well, there's a new one.
I've never heard of this one.
This one, okay, red flags are everywhere here, but a scheme convinced a woman to buy gold bars and then ship them to this scoundrel who was posing as a government agency. She lost $150,000. Breaks my heart.
That was it.
Seems like a sweet lady. Your community correspondent, Lewis Bolden, spoke with her.
A Lady Lake woman is out of nearly $150,000 after crooks posed as government employees and tricked her out of her money. It's money she received from a life insurance policy when her husband passed. I'm News 6 investigator Lewis Bolden. It's a scam that's become more and more popular. It's this week's Schemes and Ripoffs Alert.
I couldn't believe it happened.
80-year-old Patricia Toder says the scheme that went on for weeks and cost her life savings happened with a phone call.
And they were so so good at what they did.
The caller texted her this government ID and identified herself as investigator Jamie Morris with the Office of Inspector General.
She scared the devil out of me. She said that I was going to be arrested.
She later said Toder was actually a fraud victim and an employee of her bank was the suspect.
She had me go to Wells Fargo and take $20,000 out cash.
Relieved that she wasn't going to jail, Toder did as she was told. Because the bank questioned the large transaction, the crooks then convinced her to buy gold bars, lots of them.
Why gold bars? I have not seen this. This is a first for me.
Detective Brian Campbell with the Lady Lake Police Department says internet telephone scams are difficult to prosecute.
But that's how they can get away with it. It's tough to trace.
So sadly, it seems like they had an idea that this was going on at the bank. She went to go get 20 grand out and they were like, hey, this sounds a little scammy. So the person then said, oh, they're in on it. We have to go around them now. So
And I misunderstood initially because if you are not paying attention, you'll think that, oh, the bank helped scam. It's like, no.
No, that was the scam.
Yeah, that's sad. It's just awful.
All right, let's get a check of your weather now. Meteorologist Jonathan Kegas, he joins us from his digital weather center.
I like to call it his weather lair.
Okay, we could do that.
I
He's
like
getting his
that.
mic and just-
Yeah,
Hold on,
I
man.
wish we had like a kind of like a waterfall that we have to go through or something like Batman does,
Like
like
the
behind there.
Batcave?
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
Let's
that
work
would be
on that.
awesome. I wonder if that's in the budget for next year. We'll start
Probably not.
do a makeshift. I don't know, but anyway, what's going on, guys?
Hey, we're just
We're
hanging
loving
out.
this weather right now.
Yeah, it has been good.
Yeah. Anything you
It's
want to talk
fantastic.
about?
I want to talk about the Batcave situation going on. Yeah, now you have me going and thinking of some HGTV interior design, but I guess that's a story for another time.
We'll have AI design it for you.
That's it. That's it. We're going to come up with the blueprints. Anyway, I know you're not here to hear about our Batcave,
and
potentially,
dreams.
maybe. But the tropics, we're going to talk about this in the Caribbean. We were breaking this down all last week, and we told you we'd still be dealing with something in the Eastern Caribbean by this point, and there it is. I think what you see here, the modeling on your screen, that's going to shift a little further to the west. I still don't think Florida is in play, but coming up tonight at 9:30, we are going to talk about the nuances of forecasting this thing and talk about the fork in the road when it comes to these models, because the storm is not organized right now, and that's going to be the key player. A less organized storm gets further to the west, and you see it is not looking that healthy at this hour, and that could be a good and a bad thing depending upon where you are in the Caribbean. So we're going to break all that down coming up at 9:30, guys.
All right, let's get it out of here.
I don't want to get
Kegas.
forked in the road. Let's don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck no.
Just
a fork on the plate.
Jonathan Kegas.
Jonathan, thank
Thank
you.
you very much. An awesome story about a coffee shop that's having to close down after the break. Welcome to News 6 Tonight. We are so thankful that you're joining us here wherever you found us.
Yeah, you know what this tells me? If you have made this your new streaming destination, it tells me you're smart. Also good looking, because you chose to watch the news in a different way. That makes you really smart. Anybody can give you the news from a teleprompter or an old newspaper. We do it in a fresh new way.
That's right. So check us out wherever you like to stream. We have this app for your TV, News 6 Plus. You can find it on Roku and Amazon and whatever your smart TV is cooking. So thank you. We would love to hear your comments down
Oh my
below.
gosh. Yeah.
And then we'll show them.
Yeah, we will. News 6 Plus. The plus is you.
Ooh.
Man, we have talked a lot about traffic and congested roads tonight, and that theme continues with this next story. There is a beloved coffee shop in Winter Park. It's on Fairbanks. Fairbanks is like the colonial
It is. It
of
gets
Winter Park.
messy.
It really, really does. And there's a coffee shop that they're trying to, they had to move it because Fairbanks is too busy, and the parking is just horrific there. And people love this place. And this is the first time I'm seeing inside and learning what they do there. They are going to have to close down, but our community correspondent Paul Giorgio has some good news.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Austin's Coffee Jazz Night, one of the last jazz nights, if not the last jazz night to ever happen in this location.
You could say Austin's coffee shop is imperfect and unpolished. And that's the beauty of it.
Something's wrong with my pedal there.
In fact, that may be its legacy.
Oh, I lost my pick. Different kinds of, people expressing themselves makes for a different, feeling each night.
There's a youthful energy surrounded by well-worn patina.
Patina's a good word for it, yeah.
I like to call it your favorite cousin's garage that got turned into a coffee shop.
Notes of coffee and music have lingered in the air here for more than 2 decades.
I mean, look, yeah, like.
So I love the tattooed hand that randomly reaches in.
The mystery hand. That was so good. The good news, well, the bad news is they're closing that location on the 25th of this month. They're moving. But they're still going to be on Fairbanks, but a place on Fairbanks that has a little more room. They're going to open up again on November 1st.
Best name for a coffee place you could possibly have.
I could think of a lot better.
Austin. Have yourself a great night. We'll see you here tomorrow.
Bye.